Alright, we are watching Draylar, who's going to be playing Lucio on Lijiang Tower, and this is Diamond 2. I don't know if this is PC or console. We'll see pretty soon. Hi, I'm a Lucio main who fluctuates around Diamond 3, currently in Diamond 2. My personal goal is to maintain a low Master's rank for at least one season. I played a losing round on Lijiang Tower today, which was frustrating because 1, we won the first round, and 2, it was a close fight, but I was not sure what to do to turn the tides in our favor. I would appreciate any advice from more experienced support players on what I can do as Lucio to create opportunities for my team to win in team fights and in games. And then you mentioned stuff about Ana and Zen, but we're not going to worry about that. Okay, so let's play this. Looking at your team comp really quickly, so you have Hog, Genji, Junkrat, and a Mercy. So your Mercy's probably going to be pocketing the 2 DPS for the most part, and occasionally healing the Hog. Hog doesn't need a lot of healing, so this is a great opportunity for you to actually get a lot of damage in. I don't know how good your damage mechanics are, but if you climb to a certain point, I would say you're probably already at that point, if you're high diamond on PC, that you're actually going to need to do a lot of damage and start getting kills on your own, and that's going to be a limiting factor in some games. Just that's kind of the nature of his kit, especially in a lineup like this one where there isn't an obvious speed target. Like, you can speed your Hog to get a hook and then speed him away, but beyond that, he's not gonna like win a fight for you. He's not like Ryan where you can, or Risa where you can speed him in and he just kills the whole opposing team. So that's something just to be cognizant of. So I don't really know why you stall here. You like wait for a second. I guess maybe to keep your speed while still getting the backline in, but I think you could have just also stuck with them and just gone in together. Regular spam. I would strongly recommend you playing on the walls here just constantly, because you see these mines or the junk like grenades that are constantly flying by you. Like, it is very easy to get hit by spam. So I think that it is a good idea to play high here and make it very unlikely that you will get hit by spam, because nobody's aiming spam at the ceiling, you know? It's your job to kill that lamp. That 100% lamp should have died right there. Right? Right here where you peek again, like one of your shots should have been, at least one, right? Realistically, probably the last 2 should have been towards that lamp to break it. So also, when you get hit by this, by the soldier and disruptor, I would have gone to the right. I just think your team is to the left, but you take a lot of damage from this and you nearly die. I think you should have immediately exited to the right and then maybe jumped off this wall to this one and then over the top to keep healing. Okay, so you can see this is happening, but now your Mercy's going to it. That's fine. I immediately come back. As soon as I see the Mercy go to it, I stay with the Hog. Right? There's no reason. You should just stay with the Hog now. Where was your Junkrat? Alright, Junkrat's in. Yeah, so this is the reason why I'm like, hey, don't waste your time rotating, because I think you should have been here with the Hog and the Junk, and when your Junk went in, you should already be around the corner right now. You wasted this time going back and forth, and that ends up being like a big issue. Because it's not a headshot, so you might have been able to save your Junkrat there if you've been healing the whole time. All right, down 1. You're realistically probably not gonna be able to get this. Yeah, I think there's not a ton that you can do right now. Right, I think this stall is not actually particularly helpful yet. I think you just speed and get people out here. Right, ideally your team should be going backwards now, not forwards, but I guess if they're going to stay in, you might as well farm ult charge. Your aim, I notice, is also not great, so watch. So Risa should be an easy target, right? Risa should be like an 80% hit. Okay, so that shot's good. Now watch this one. Alright. I guess you get 3/4 of that. Alright, so you miss half there. And then right here, you miss the whole shot. That's the one that is really significant. Like, the other ones was like okay, but that one, I think you really should be hitting like 75% plus of the shots on a reset that range. I'm noting it now because I bet it's going to be a problem later, correct? Because you're going to do a little less damage, you're going to farm ult charge a little slower than you should, you're not going to be able to finish kills, things like that. And we're doing Kiriko, and your Hog went Risa, that's fine. So, again, thinking about the situation, like, you can't just speed in, like, especially because you recognize your team is split. You cannot speed in right now and just win the fight, right? Because they're all going to be grouped together. If you speed in right now, everyone just dies. So you have to chill and let your flankers, right, the Kiriko and the Junk, set up here. And then you can potentially dive in as well, but I think good aura usage so far. I mean, it makes sense. You're 58% winner rate. I mean, I don't think it's a lot differently that I would say about aura. think it's all about recognizing at this point when big plays, right? This is a good opportunity to go and then boop the Baptiste off position. I think it is a mistake not to be going after the Baptiste. He's clearly not looking at you. Alright, so you take the safe route. I understand that, but like if he's not looking, I think you take the chance and try to go fast. Right? And then if he starts looking at you, then jump over the top and then go. But I think there's a reasonable duel. You're mostly just distracting him. He's already being pocketed, so there's no way you can kill him. Again, I would look at the situation and be like, can we actually win this? You cannot. I mean, I guess your Genji's like coming back, but I think this is just gonna be stalling and lose more percentage. Yeah, I think you just get off the point here. This feels like a highly questionable beat. I think you're using it for Blade. I wouldn't want Genji Blade if I was Genji in this situation, right? Both healers are still alive and Lamp is down. This feels like a tough situation. A lot to ask of the Genji in this right now. Right? He's not even blading. Right? Which, you know, did he blade? I guess he did blade. Yeah, he just gets blown up here, right? I don't think that was the right time. I think you needed more people to file in and make it an even fight. I'm surprised you won this round. Alright. Your tank and Yuriko got in. I would boop him off point. Gotta get that cap. Oh man. Okay, so Baptiste gets a kill here and he really should not. Okay, so let's kind of watch this in half speed. So Junk's not being healed right now because you well, I guess you're on heal or now. He's shooting the Junk. Right, jumps over, gets that kill. So you have Amp here, like right now, that you could use Amp if you were around the corner to definitely save your Junk. Is option number one. Option number two is that I think you just need to land more shots on the Baptiste. So starting from here, I don't think you run off the wall. That's kind of number one, right? I can clearly tell this is going to be a 3-on-1 situation. So my goal here is not to survive. Like, I'm not going to die. There's no way this Baptiste is going to kill me that fast. He's not going to hit, like, you know, two double headshots to bursts to kill me here. So I feel, like, perfectly safe. I'm at full health. There's just no way that he's going to kill me. So stay on the ground, and just track him right to left as he comes down for a quick 80 damage. And then the melee, right? You miss everything there. I think you missed literally everything here. 1, 2, 3. I think you hit 1 of 4. Then you miss 4. Then you miss another 4. And then you miss 3 more. So that's what? That's 20 shots. I think you hit 3. You hit 3 or 4 out of 20, which is no good. That's no good. At that range, that's no good. Right? All you had to do was hit 50%, like you hit basically 25%, right? If you hit 50%, he would be dead right now. And at that close range, I think you should have killed him. And that prevents your Junk from dying here. So I think that's just a big one. Okay, super low. Right, just kind of playing here. I think you eat like the Sojourn shot or something. Again, stepping forward there was kind of crazy. You didn't need to. You saw how low he was. Just the right click would have done it. Or boop. You eat this shot. Do not climb up. This is a mistake. You should have died right here at this moment. You're extremely lucky you do not die. You should have just stayed low. After you got shot, you should just slid along this side. Getting high here and exposing yourself at 16 health was a huge mistake. Alright, another good example where you spam, but you throw off your own aim by jumping. So all you have to do with the spam is just send them straight down, right, at like head level. But watch how you jump, and you see you throw off your shots. There's no way those shots in the air should land. Right? You should just straight line spam at head level, same way you would play Kiriko. Alright, so one thing, in neutral like this, I think you should scout more and recognize, like, hey, are they setting up here or are they rotating? So, for example, if you come over here quickly and you see nobody here, there's a good chance that they're rotating to the left and you can get your team in position, right? You're playing a little too, not physically far back, but you're not peeking the angle enough. And without snipers, I think you should be constantly peeking to make sure you get information. And then also ping for your team. Okay? You can also recognize, for example, if the Orisa goes on a rotation up top, you can come in the back and like boop back, you know, the Sojourn or the Baptiste or whomever and separate them from the tank is another play you can think of. Another thing to think about is tracking ultis. Right, so it's hard when during game I'm much better at tracking ultis than I'm in replays, because in replays like it's you know, you pause like a million times. But I would be thinking, I don't think I've seen a tank ulti yet, so I would think a tank ulti is coming something soon. We actually can see that the Orisa is relatively low because they switched off. Right, is that what happened? What were they at the start of this game? Oh, I guess they did Terror Surge at some point. That's weird. I don't remember seeing it. It must have been like around a corner where you didn't see it. But definitely think about Junk Tire. Right, and then Window will be coming back up because you saw Window a while ago, and so forth. All right, let's rewind. How did we get in this position? So Rushed pot gets popped here. All right, so here comes Rush. You can tell the Sojourn's isolated right now. Now you see the Mercy, so there's not a lot you can do. You're speeding your team in. I would think, okay, what's the highest value thing I can do right now? It's unlikely to be healing, right? Especially with Rush Up, it's unlikely to be healing. So you should focus, hey, who can I damage here? Can I go after the Mercy or can I go after the Sojourn, right? One of these two is probably your best bet. I think turning the corner in here is probably a death sentence. So you do a little boop on the Mercy. I don't know that it gives you like so much value. And then you reload. See, this is weird because you boop right here and then you reload at 16, and there's no need to. Right? Like, why reload right now? You could have, think about it, like you could just kill this Mercy right now with 4 shots, right? Or 3 shots in a melee would have just killed that Mercy, which would have been a big play. All right, now you clearly get up to your team. You see the Sojourn's isolate. Yep, go after her. Get forward, get her, go out. Good. Yeah, I mean, I point out your team won that fight, but like you didn't really do anything. You gave him like a little bit of speed initially, and then you like put like the smallest amount. You did like 25 damage to the Mercy with your boop, and that was pretty much it. Beyond that, you just kind of sat on the walls. You just need to have more impact if you want to consistently win even more than you are 58%. I don't know if it's 58% climbing or 58% dropping. That's a big difference. Okay, so Terror Search happens. Unfortunate because you don't have ammo right now. You should think, okay, usually after Terror Surge, somebody usually gets pretty injured while walking out of it. It's probably going to be Cassidy. I would think about chasing another Cassidy right now. Right? You see? I even knew it. I knew this was going to happen. As somebody who plays Orisa all the time, people walk out of her range all the time where she slams right when they get out of range, and it does 2/3, 3/4 of their health. This is an easy kill for Lucio. Very, very easy kill for Lucio that you should have gotten. So going in, beyond that, I'm also thinking, hey, I want to farm beat here very soon, as soon as possible. Okay, I want to farm beat so we don't end up losing this fight. If you want to farm beat, you could just go for the tank and just get to the shots consistently and just get beat. Alright, you're done. Okay, you pop it. So yeah, I mean, the biggest issue is your tank is dead. That's the biggest issue why this beat is ultimately not necessarily very good, and I might even have thought of just letting them have the point, like losing this fight and stalling out as long as I can, and use beat to come in, right? Because by the time this fight's over, if you don't use beat, you'll probably be like 80, 85%, and you come back in, and then you're looking at 1.5 fights left. Okay, with beat, you should be able to win it. Popping beat now is risky, because now you have to win this fight. I mean, they're down 1, so it's a 4-4, so winnable. But often when your tank is out, it's really, really hard to win the fight. But this is a great example where I'm like, if you were a little better at spamming, you would have beat right now. Okay, that's missing 6%. You'd have beat right now, and then you could beat for your Orisa, and then walk over the opposing team, and it's over. You know what I mean? Like that. Like right now, you're at 98. Again, just being slightly more accurate and being slightly better at spamming would have given you beat by now. All right, I think that's actually pretty huge to note. Again, a lot of Lucio value comes from sound barrier. Your Junk's a baller. I don't think this is the time necessary to be going after the Orisa, especially when she's fortified. Right? I think you have to be disruptive. You see how little the Baptiste is? Yeah. I think good call to get out there. Right, get the mini, go back in. No! I think in this situation, so let me walk you through one thing. I think you have to stall here. Even with window, I think you have to stall here. Right? Your Kiriko's still on point. The question is, do you have time to get the mini? I think you do if you have speed and you go straight through and back around, which would actually be the best route and gives you access to the soldier. I think this little delay where you hit the top, then you switch the heal aura even though you know the mini's coming. Well, actually, no, your team still has control the point. What am I talking about? Interaction of happiness. Okay, then you're fine. Yeah, you're fine, you're fine. So go through. I still think the movement here was not ideal. I think you still should have gone through here and gone after the Sojourn. Okay? Because you knew the Sojourn was here. You know the Sojourn's going to be playing behind window, right? Because you just fought, killed the Baptiste. You know the Sojourn's going to be playing like right here. Don't come from this side again. Come from behind them and go after the Sojourn. Alright, that I think was a really good play. I think that was well executed. The boot backwards followed by attacks, I think that was really good. I don't think you get closer here. This is a crazy mistake. Right, you get one good kill, and then from right here, there's no reason to walk towards the Orisa, right? Just play this cover, okay? Use the wall, use the pillar, etc. But don't move closer to the Orisa. Right? You go absolutely crazy. You get this jump off, and you could run straight at the Orisa, seeing that the whole team is coming, and get absolutely blown up right now. You should be dead. Right? Terror Surge's off, and you're dead. This is crazy. All you had to do was chill back here, right? This wall or the pillar, right? Or even over here, you had a lot of options. Going towards the Orisa was the worst mistake. Do not get closest to Orisas. They are very dangerous at close range. Surprisingly dangerous. It is quite easy to hit Javelin on Lucio close range, and then you die. Okay, EC Fortify is ending soon. Again, I don't know why you're not peeking right now. So, your Orisa's in trouble, right? You should be on the other side of this, right? Either left or right, whatever you want to do. Okay, probably left is safer. There's no reason to be LOSing your Orisa here, because she's not getting healing from you right now. And see how low she gets? Like, this is actually crazy that you didn't peek this. Okay, you should instinctively have gone left with your Orisa. Like, she's clearly going for something, right? And help that dive. Don't worry about the Cassidy. Okay, now you can fight the Cassidy. But I think you should have gone with your Orisa initially. That Cassidy was, like, weirdly out of position. Alright, speed good. Again, don't walk between their Orisa and your Orisa. Like, this is how you get messed up. I often look for things like this when I know my team's gonna lose a fight. I look for an opportunity to get a pick so we can turn it into a 5-on-4 when I come back. Right? So right here, like, you could get Javelin and killed, for example. Don't just like run to their face. Like, it is the right call to be aggressive, but don't like run literally in front of them. This should be an easy win here. Okay. So I think you should have done the fast rollout here. So there is a rollout. This is like very slow. There's a rollout for Lucio where you can get all the way over to their bridge before they can get there if they don't have a Lucio, and then you can boop them off. And even if you don't boop them off, just keeping them back and being scared of getting booped off is enough. I think that is a big mistake. Lijiang Tower is very, very strong for Lucio. I think you should look up the Lucio rollout if you don't know. This is a huge mistake and not be exploiting that. Right? I think, again, even at this point, I think you should be going up and playing right here and constantly booping them off. Don't worry about the point. Like, everyone's there. Again, after spin's over, right? I think you even saw Fortify as well. Yeah, you saw spin and Fortify here. There's nothing they can do to stop you from camping right here and continually pushing them. Yeah, no, it just falls apart. Yeah, I think again, big mistake not getting there, being able to hold to boop them off. Number one, number two. After that, I still think you're being way too passive, not playing up and forcing them back with booping. Genji's in. Right, as soon as Genji's in, switch speed. The moment you see the Genji go in, right here, speed. Right, everyone's got enough health. Like you have to speed right now, otherwise your Genji's gonna be left in there alone. Right, too slow on speed. Team isn't able to go in. Right, I think you go through this. Yep. Missing a lot of shots here. Alright, so that's 0 for 4. 0 for 8. Oh for 12. 1 for 16. 2 for 20. Like, this is pretty bad. You're, like, very close to them. It's going to be hard to keep climbing at this point without getting better aim. And I think it's because I don't think inherently it's actually that much of an aim issue. I think what's actually going on is that you're having a lot of stimulus on your screen because you're actually pretty good in 1v1s. So I think because so much is going on, you're kind of like getting like too overwhelmed by like what is happening in front of you, and you're not actually paying attention to where your mouse is, right? Your crosshair. All you're doing is just spamming while looking at the rest of the field, which is a mistake. You have to still be aiming, right? At least enough to make sure you're hitting a tank. Okay, you see the Mercy is low. If you have an opportunity, you should think about diving, but I don't know if you're gonna get it. Okay, great. You trade tanks, just stay alive now. Right, just play heals, keep everyone alive. Again, like once you kill the opposing tank and your tank is alive, it's pretty much always a win as long as nobody else dies right after. Don't walk in straight lines backwards. That's how you get blown up. So I would peek right now. I know the Genji just died, but that means you know Sojourn's not charged, right? You have to be farming ulti way more than you are. You play way far back, especially when you're full. Like, there's no reason to not be farming ulti right now. I guess you already have ulti. It's my bad. But in general, I've noticed previously that you don't farm ulti enough. Okay, so you can think about contesting point right now. You rush this pop. Right. I want to wait as long as I possibly can to see if I can get away without using beat, because we already popped rush. You got one. Great. I don't know why you popped this beat. Did the Orisa get low? Right. She's around the corner. She's fine. Right? It's even right now. Your Orisa's still basically at full health, right? She hasn't gone critical or anything. I don't agree with this beat at all. This is a wasted beat. Right. Now your whole team pops all their buttons, which means you're going to lose the next fight. Right, I don't care about this. Is all just clean up. Taxi Orisa back. It's fine. So now you think, okay, we're gonna lose this fight because we don't have ultimates. We're also down one, down two now. We're actually just want to stall again. Oh, okay. So all things have gone right now. All right. So you want to stall, right? Keep your Orisa up. Orisa tries to go in. Your Orisa is critical. At this point, I'm like, Orisa's not gonna be able to stall for very long. You should get ready to be the one who stalls. You're very, very good at stalling. Right? This is why Lucio is so strong in King of the Hill. You need to be thinking, I'm going to trade my life for percentage on this point. There is no world, unless my whole team is going to group up and we're about to retake. Other than that, there's no world where I should be alive and this point should get flipped. Okay? That should be your perspective here. You have full health. Okay? Your team has no real chance of winning this fight. You should think, I have to stall here. And you step up here a little bit. But again, I don't know if this is the step up I want, right? You don't want to take any damage here. You're not going to get a kill. You're not going to win this fight. You want to be playing here, right? Or going through the window or something to get ready to stall. Right, your Orisa's off the point. You need to stall now because you run straight at the Orisa kind of like basically face tanks you here, and then you get scared of walking on. Okay, so playing right here, I think, okay, this is it for my Orisa. Like, she's dead. I would go in and start climbing along the wall. Right, doing this is a mistake. At this point, still salvageable. Still salvageable, okay? Just go up the right and start going that way, right? But again, you wiggle. At this point, still salvageable. Just go left, right? But once she steps up like this, it's really hard for me to get an angle to go back in and flip the point flip, right? That you probably stall it at least another 10%, right? And then teammate trickling in can get another 5-10% more, and then you have one fight left that you need to win. And now you have 2, maybe 3 fights left. It's a big mistake. Right? Your angle here is no good, right? You see how none of your shots are landing because of the lip of the bridge? I think you either need to step up or go over here and spam from this side, right? Those are your options. I think that doing this jump shooting where you're missing 90% plus of your shots is not effective. Everyone dies here. Again, you should think, hey, can I farm ulti? Forget about walking back to spawn. Like, everyone's gonna die. Just like your Genji's still in. Just stay here. Just keep farming ulti. Keep farming ulti. Stop trying to taxi people. This is the right time. I don't know what's going on over there, but... Oh, your Genji's gotten the mega. Terrors are coming, yep. Oh, and the dragon. Oh. Yeah, I mean, again, not much you can do there without beat. And again, notice that you're 85%. If you get there, 15% more spam, which is definitely possible over the course of what we just saw, would have gotten you beat. And then you'd have beat, and then you could have survived this. That's the way that you counter this, right? Honestly, there's not much else you could do. Like, you had speed, and I think amp ready. Oh, no, you don't have amp ready. I think you amp to go in. Yeah, I think that's a mistake. Because speeding in here, like, it's already a strong position, like 5 and 5. You can't guarantee that speed here is going to do anything. And no one is low. So I think you save amp here to have speed for when this comes. Right now. Yeah. I mean, I don't think amp would have ultimately changed the course of the fight, but it would have for sure had you survive, and then maybe you get beat, and maybe you can turn this fight around. I also think when the Orisa started running at you, the correct response is not to just shoot her while jumping backwards. The moment she does this, I know Surge is coming. As somebody who Blizzard, I know she's trying to Surge right now. Turn and wall ride and get out right away, right? Because remember, you move 10% slower when you don't, when you walk backwards, A, and you also move, what is it, like 25% faster when you're on a wall, something like that. So that's like a 35% speed difference if you can just, even without amp, if you just turn around and wall ride and get out. It's a big mistake to get sucked in here and get killed by dragon. Get killed by dragon plus Orisa. Okay, so that's round 2. Let's look at round 3. I think even here you take the shot, just jump and peek here, okay? If you jump peek this way, there's no way this Hanzo's going to hit you. Certainly not a headshot, not consistently. The mistake is to re-peek the same angle over and over again. That's how you get killed, okay? Jump peek this way, and you're fine. Just keep spamming. You have to farm way more OP. All right, you get your team to point, sort of, right? I would push back the Orisa right now. Right? I would use that opportunity, because again, I don't want the Orisa to make it to point and stall this out. She decides not to step in anyway. Right? You're also notice you're like ahead of your team here. So watch the aerial view. So you go, right? Clearly your team's not finished rotate. Sim's already on point, so you're gonna start capping, okay? Then you play over here. You need to come back this way, right? Because you recognize your team's not able to come through with you for whatever reason. They either think it's a better choice to stay out there, or they're unable to make the cross. You need to come back now and make sure that the soldier gets back safely. That's how teammates die, right? When you don't pay attention to little details like that. So I would probably play closer to my mirror here. All right, so now you're in stall mode, right? One thing that's really important to recognize is, for King of the Hill especially, are you in stall mode or are you in win mode, right? And especially in win mode, I would divide it into, are we definitely going to win, or do we need to pop ulti to win? And as soon as you lose that pick out there, the Moira especially, like if you lost the DPS, you might be able to win this. But losing the Moira right away like that, and you being Lucio, there's like no way you can win this fight. So you should think, I just want to make this fight take as long as it possibly can. I want to boop them back, I want to poke them safely, I want to stay alive, and then go into stall, right? Stall, stall, stall. Alright. Well, I guess we can cap it first. Alright, I think that's a good job putting pressure on them. Alright, and again. Oh, alright, so you trade tanks, but it means you're still down one. Good job with Moira, yep, she fades. Alright, just try to keep people alive. Again, you don't need to be on point, I think good. I think that's good rotation, recognizing that you don't need to be on point, someone's already on it. It's close in Kiriko, you can't chase though, because it's dangerous up there. Good job moving the Hanzo in. Aim's a little off, you see aim's off again. Yeah, that's like a rough stretch miss, right? You missed the full 4 right there. Then you boop him, and you should land these for sure. That for sure, once he boop, you should have landed that. So you missed the next 4. Then I think you hit 1 of the 4 there, and then you missed the other 4 again. So out of 16 shots, I think you landed 2. This Hanzo should be dead. And I think worst case scenario, he kills you. Alright? Because you just literally walk in front of his bow. Alright, so watch. Miss, miss, miss. Miss, 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 miss. And then you run in front of him while you're shooting somebody else and he kills you. Watch from his perspective. I don't think he's even trying to shoot you. Alright, he gets booped. He's recognized he's low. He's trying to get this pick on the Moira. And then you just jump in front of his face. I remember I warned you about that. I warned you about that earlier, is that you do this. In the Orisa versus Orisa, is that you just don't respect the opposing player at all. You literally jump in front of them, like into their crosshair, which leads to kills like that. There's no reason, like that Hanzo should be dead and you and the Moira should both be alive. That is a mistake. Thankfully, your team's not punished for it. Alright, so. Yep, I think there's a good response, right? They pop Rush, they pop Coalescence, yep, beat. Right, you get beat off. Again, think about fighting here. Right? Like, I don't know why you pop beat and then your instinct is to run to cover. Like, with beat up, you currently are basically invincible, right? You have like 750 extra health or whatever it is. You're effectively invincible right now. You need to use the next 3 to 5 seconds to try to do something. Simply existing here is no good, right? I also think you need to switch to speed. Alright, you switch to speed. Right? Again, get this kill on the Moira. Right? You pop amp there for some reason. Like, I think you just go for the kill, right? And then when she gets knocked around the corner, then pop amp right now so that you can chase. You're not being nearly aggressive enough, right? Through beat, 2 people died, but you're just not doing enough with the beat. All right, they're gonna cap this for sure. I think you should have stalled out, as we said. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, everyone's gonna, your Orisa just died. Everyone's gonna get staggered regardless. You just die on the point and stall percentage as long as you can. Again, this spam off target, watch, it's gonna go into the ground. Right? So you see how these shots are low? Right? And those shots, 2 of them are okay, 2 of them are too high. That's chest level instead of head level. You can see the Hanzo, by the way, in the distance constantly. I do not think you should be coming through this channel. I think you need to go around this way. And then, by the way, if you want to farm ulti, you can farm ulti from here very easily. Yeah, see? You took that shot from the Hanzo. You should have dead. You should be dead. It's absolutely crazy to keep challenging from that exact same angle over and over again. So, I'm trying to figure out what causes you to do this. Alright, Risa's low. Why do you turn around right now? Like, I don't know what caused you to turn here. Right? And then also, you've already popped amp, which is unfortunate. Because then she does this. and then the dragon happens at the same time. Oh, is it because you heard the dragon? So in replay, I have the sound turned way down, so it's hard for me to hear. But I think this is dragon, right? As soon as you hear that, I would immediately turn on speed. Yeah. I'm just curious. Yeah, you popped the amp already. You popped the amp in reaction to the Orisa being crit. I understand that. I understand. So you popped amp heal here because you can see how low your Orisa is, and I get that. Right? Realistically, your Brig should have been able to heal up / passive. I mean, it's just tough because you're running a Lucio, a Brig Lucio comp with an Orisa, which is not a great combo, but especially against another Orisa. But popping amp here is bad because then they're able to walk in and kill you with this. Where if you had amp speed, you would have been okay. Alright, so not too much you could do there. Alright, breaks back to Mercy. Right, again, I don't know why you're not going out with your tank here. Right, you see the Mercy's in here. Right, she's got the damage orb, but it's fine. Like, she's fine. Just go. You gotta go. Right, speed here is not helpful. You should recognize speed's not helpful, right? Your Orisa's not, with more speed, is not going to do anything. She needs to win the sustain fight. The Orisa versus Orisa is a battle of attrition. It's not like who can get there fastest, especially once the point is capped. You need to just simply have more sustain here, which you cannot provide as Lucio. You just don't have enough healing. And you might think, okay, what do I do in this situation? Well, number one, you could switch to another hero, which you don't have to do, but I'm just pointing out that in this situation, giving your Orisa speed for her to just get burned down faster is not going to help you. All right? You're going to lose this sustain match. In which case, it has now become your job to figure out how you can add value in other ways other than healing, which is what Lucio is good at. Speed is not helpful here. Speeding your DPS, for example, to be able to rotate, that could be helpful. Going after the DPS to get them off your Orisa, that could be helpful. That is way more helpful than the 24 health a second or whatever that you provide with your heal. I don't think it's 24, it's like 16. Right? Everyone dies because, again, this is not enough sustain. Right? Like, Orisa's just gonna stay there, she's gonna go in, like, the exact same thing's gonna happen over and over again. Right? You can go again. Like, their Orisa has a Kiriko and Mora, right? Two of the, like, Mora's the best healer in the game by pure healing output, and Kiriko's good and has Suzu. Like, your tank has no chance at winning the sustain match. Right? You see, like, your Orisa just can't walk out. Like, she, even if you speed her out, she'll just die out there because their Orisa gets way more healing. That is an opportunity right there, right? Could have recognized that the Hanzo is fighting your soldier and try to help and get this 2v1, right? Going in here, for example, booping the Hanzo out so that you and the soldier can get a kill, that's a high value play. Right? Too late, way too late to do this, and you're not following your team right now, which is a highly questionable decision. I guess you're going here because you want to contest. I suppose that's what you have to do. I mean, the soldier's already going in, but I guess I understand this. Right? Try to boop them. Soldier dies to get the contest. Oh, I think you need to land quadruple headshot right here. So watch. Right here, you hit the ground. You're coming around this corner. This Kiriko's clearly not dodging you. This is a quadruple headshot melee boop situation. Right? To get the kill on the Kiriko. That's what you needed to do right here to win this. Or have any chance of winning this. I think even if you did that, you may not necessarily have won. Right? From here, right? Yeah, you have no chance. And you don't pop beat. Yeah, see, and you're slow farming beat again. Okay, what to summarize? I would say number one, you're high diamond already, so there's not going to be like any egregious like, oh, completely change your playstyle around type things for you to get better. There are always going to be little things to execute, a little better than you have been. I would say number one, farm ulti faster for sure. Right? You need to farm beat faster. We've made like 3 or 4 different critical moments where if you had beat 5 to 15% faster, it changes the nature of the fight. Okay? And could have resulted in a win. That's number one. And you just need to spam more spam more accurately. And that seems kind of confusing, but like your spam is off target at times where you're hitting walls, hitting the ground, hitting the ceiling, whatever, not a headshot level. Like you almost never get headshots from spams, which tells me that you have trouble understanding what headshot level is and consistently spamming at that level. So that's number one. Number two, close range accuracy needs to be dramatically improved. We've done it multiple times where at close range, even after you boop them and they're moving in a straight line, you're hitting 25% or below of your shots. And I think that if you want to climb, I think that number needs to be at least 50%, if not 75% plus. Like we're talking tanks here. We're not talking like, oh, you're trying to hit, a Sombra or something like that. Like you can't be missing 80% of your shots on a Risa at point blank. It just can't happen. Like that's going to hold you back tremendously because it's preventing you from getting kills. It's preventing you from getting pressure. And then number three, I would say in general, looking for other little opportunities to try to get kills, to make plays, and read those in real time. And that's tough, right? And there's not one singular like core thread there. I think I just identified a bunch of like little moments where you just don't quite have, where you don't see an opportunity present itself, or you don't go for it fast enough. I would say as a fourth one, trying to keep amp more to counter opposing abilities, like in particular Terra Surge and Dragon are big ones. It's tough because your team doesn't have enough healing, so often it's not like you're using bad amps per se, they just aren't optimal amps because you're forced to use them to heal people, and that's not great, right? If 90% of the damage you're taking is just on your tank, Lucio is not a good support for that situation because you have aura healing, right? Like everyone's low, great, like everyone's getting spammed down by a Junkrat or a Pharah, yeah, the aura healing is excellent, but if your tank is getting absolutely blasted like they are in this game, Lucio's not a great choice unless the other support can play a good single target healer, which Mercy is not, right? Like Moira, Anna, Kiriko, all good at single target healing. Okay, Lucio, not so good, right? Brig, not so good. So just something to note is that sometimes that'll just make things situation, and you need to react to what your team is bringing to the fight. Okay, hopefully that's helpful.